we're gonna talk about beater cars, we're gonna talk about maybe why would you even choose that? What's the worst that could happen, right? Well, what's the worst that could happen? And that's how I look at buying just any old used car. I'm driving a 1993 right now, and it's 30 years old, and I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it, you know? I mean, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect. What's the worst that could happen, though? You know, what's the worst that could happen with the not perfect car? It's old car. An old car. You know, you already know it's gonna need everything, right? So you already know. So it's not even a surprise once it needs everything. An old car. But the newer cars, they're also harder to repair. I feel like it's more complicated. There's more plastic connectors. And the plastic is cheaper. I feel like the plastic was better and now it's cheaper, and now you go to take any of these connectors off and they're brittle and they break. And it's coolant lines and everything. They used to make things a lot more heavy duty. Everything was like had some heft to it. The bumpers were metal. The whole car was a big metal thing. Now it's just like soda can. Even my 93, you shut the door in that thing, it feels like it's like a Soviet Union, like wartime build quality. Compared to like a new car, feels like the door is almost made out of paper. When you buy a new car, are you even thinking of how much money you're gonna spend on gas? When you buy a pickup truck, are you even thinking of how much money you're gonna spend on gas? Because it all doesn't really matter until it matters, until you're trying to save some money. As soon as you're trying to like get out of the hole you're in, you realize you don't want to spend that much. And so buying a brand new car, you're putting yourself in a hole. You're already putting yourself in a hole. But if you have that money already ready to go, why would you spend it on the car? The car's not a good investment. The car's really just gonna go down in value, down in value. Even this thing's down in value, I feel like it'll never be up in value. I feel like there's other ones that are worth a lot, this one's not worth nothing. Anyways, buy a brand new car, see what happens. Go ahead and see what happens. You get one dent, scratch, anything, you're gonna be all upset about it. You get some old car, get a dent, scratch, who cares? You're not even sad about it. Why would I be sad? My car gets a scratch. It deserved it, man. I mean, my car needs really everything. So that's why I'm not too worried about it. If it needs everything, I'll just one thing at a time. At least I don't have a payment on it, right? I can just. Some people, if it was a new car, it would be $700 a month for the payment, and then $300 for the insurance, and then before you know it, gasoline and everything, and I'm spending over $1,000 just to drive around in this box. My car now, I didn't spend $1,000. All right, I spent $2,000 for the whole car. All right, $1,800. All right, the guy saved me $100. And it still cost. I had to pull the motor out, put a clutch in it. That's another point. If you're gonna buy an older car, maybe you should be not too afraid to fix it up a little bit yourself. What's the worst that could happen? To save a couple of bucks. There's something that makes you feel really, real cozy and warm. If you've pulled the motor out of your car and you've done some seals, or if you've done every last thing that you can good little car, there's some feeling you get when you drive it. When you drive it afterwards, and it works, and everything's working, and it's not overheating. And then you switch to synthetic oil, and it leaks like a sieve. It's something that smells really horrible when you get into it. But you want to know what? It's cheaper. You're still saving money. You do an oil change every 3,000 miles, right? That's what you're supposed to. Then all of a sudden they're telling you, oh, you can go 10,000. Do you trust them? Are you trusting them when they say that? I don't trust anybody. They want you to buy a new motor. They want your car to go to. They want your car to be a time bomb. Your car's already a time bomb. You gotta keep up with it. You gotta do all the services yourself. Save the money. Isn't that why we're having this video? So you can avoid that payment. You're trying to just save your money, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need some money. You're out there, you're spending $100 to fill your pickup truck. You could be spending $20 to fill your Yaris. You could be putting $80 somewhere else, or having $80, for the rest of the month, for the one fill up on the other vehicle that you could. How often are you hauling something in this truck? Is this truck paying for that gas? Is it earning its keep? It's something that's really, it could catch right up. It could catch right up real quick. Real quick. The price of everything just catch right up. So, newer car takes a lot more oil, X, Y, Z, coolant, this, brake fluid, that. Doesn't matter. Brake shoes, brake pads. All of a sudden it's got brake pad wear sensors, and everything's got a sensor. All of a sudden each tire has a sensor. Sometimes these cars are 4 years old and they're leaking oil from every piece on it. Bottom line is, when you're buying a car, you should already know that car isn't going to be worth anything. That car is a pair of shoes. Those shoes should look like hell by the time you're done with them. It's a fancy glove. You know what's cool? Just having a car. Just having a little car you're driving around. Why not? It's pretty good. I like mine. Cheap, it's easy. Fill it up. You're going to spend the money. Everything is going to cost you money. So, doesn't matter what car it is, new or old, it's gonna break. There's gonna be service involved. Someone's gonna have to pay for it. Even if it's under warranty, they're gonna try to say that that's not part of it for certain things, and you think they won't until they do. Really, what's it boil down to? What's really important to you? Would you rather have some more money at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month? If you had more money because you didn't have that car payment, how would you feel about that? Would that help you in other areas? Are you hungry, but you got a car payment? Tell me about it. What's wrong? What's happening over there? Like, what did they tell you? What did they tell you at the dealership? What did they tell you? What did they say? What are they saying to you? What did they tell you? But really, at the bottom line of it is, what is the worst that could happen if you just got the shittiest, cheapest, the worst of the worst car that is horrible? It's not gonna, it's cheap. Starts up though right now. Starts right now. You can work with that. You can get it going, and then you can, fix one thing, maybe, and then see how it feels, and then just go from there, and then maybe it's good enough. But I feel like anything that would be good, you would know right away if it was going to be a good, solid car, just by the way it starts up. A lot of these cars, some of them are going to have been sitting. They're going to need a battery, And that's one of the biggest things. Like, you got to put a new battery, and then that can be a $200 expense right out of the gate. Which, when you're looking at the initial price of a car, does it have a new battery? When was the battery last put in? What's the deal with the battery? Because that's the thing that's gonna leave you hanging. I mean, it could really be anything else. It really could be, I don't know. It really could be anything. But what's important to you? Do you need to have that fancy new car? Are you keeping up with the Joneses? Do the Joneses know? How's life? How are the Joneses doing? Do the Joneses have plenty of money all the time? They're alright, they're doing fine. I really feel like having a small, little beat up junk car, if you don't care about it, that's the most perfect thing. I mean, think about it. You're in traffic, someone doesn't want to let you in, but you want to go in, and then they want to beep their horn, but you just go in there anyway. And because they have a brand new looking RAV4 type of looking thing, and you know that just one scratch on their car is going to cost more than your whole car. And so then guess who's going to be scared? You're going to be like, go ahead and rub right up against the side of mine and see how much more damage it does to your car. That's how you're going to feel. You're going to drive these things because it's a battle out there. The roads are in horrible shape. Do you want your brand new car to have to go buy wheel after wheel? Because I don't want to be paying $290 for a headlight if it goes out. Little teeny things people don't think about when they're buying a brand new car with these bright headlights, and I can't see because you're behind me with your high beams on, but they're really not your high beams on. But I think your high beams are on, but they probably are on because your low beam's out, so you put your high beams on, so you're high beaming everyone, and it's really just unfair because they're so bright anyways. You know who you are, and I know you're out there, and I know you're probably not listening to this, so it's fine. I love this guy. I don't know why I'm still talking to him.
And another thing.